Hey, what's up, my fearless networking friend, Todd Falcone? What is up? Happy days to you. So today we are going to talk about a word or a phrase that's used all the time in network marketing, which is you need to have a success mindset, or just mindset, So, but the question is, like, you can sit here and say, hey, just have a success mindset, have a happy attitude, have a great attitude, whatever it is. Or just go prospect, just go do it. But that's not really helpful for somebody that doesn't understand what it really means. And so if you have an understanding of what people are saying when they say success mindset or self-discipline or whatever it is, giving an understanding of like, okay, what exactly is it and why do I need to have it and how do I go about getting it? So if it's a requirement in order for me to be successful, if I need to have a success mindset in order to be successful, well, okay, cool, I get it, but like, how do I get it? Because I don't feel very successful right now. So like, even for example, I remember going into the very first business opportunity presentation I ever attended, and in that presentation, during the presentation, they actually held up the book Think and Grow Rich. And I literally had just gotten out of college, so all I was doing was reading, taking tests, and doing the routine, right? And I remember even saying to the guy, I don't remember word for word what I said to him, but I was basically like, dude, can I just make some money? I just want to go out and make some money. I'm done studying. And it's like that, years later, I heard that quote by Jim Rohn, which is formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. And it's so powerful because the truth is, like, most colleges, most educational systems, they teach you to go work for somebody else. It's all about basically memorization, reading something, memorizing it, taking a test on it. Yeah, there's learning. I'm not knocking college, but they definitely don't teach you how to be self-employed, how to be an entrepreneur, how to develop a success consciousness. They really prepare you for the workforce, not being, your own self and doing your own thing. So, so I was personally kind of hesitant and I pushed back a little bit. And then I even remember going to I remember it was like 2 or 3 months being into my very first company, and there was this seminar that was taking place, and this guy's like, are you going to this event? It was happening, I didn't even know what a seminar was, which is kind of hilarious. I think I remember hearing seminar, and my mom thought I was in a cult, so she was like, oh, I thought seance or something. I don't know. That's how green I was. So, but I found out seminar as a training event, and training events are where people go to learn how to do the business and whatever. And this guy said, hey, are you going to this event? And I was like, no. Not that I didn't want to go to the event, but the event was like $300, and I didn't have $300. I literally limited my credit card out on my very first network marketing purchase. So I wanted to go, and I remember him looking at me, and he's like, do you want to be a leader in this company? And I said, yeah, I do. And he's like, well, you need to be at that event. And he just turned and he walked away. So, I mean, the message was pretty vividly clear to me, the importance of being at the event. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, really? Do you think I should go to the event? It was clear. And I did make it to that very first event. I slept in my car for a couple days I didn't have a hotel room, but I made it to the event. So, so this whole idea of creating a success mindset, I'm going to cover a few different elements to it just to, get you thinking about it. Because I know a lot of people don't. They come into network marketing. Sure, some people come into network marketing that have been successful. They've got, confidence. They've got swagger. They've got positivity, good vibes, great attitude. And then there's people that are in here and they're just like trying to figure it out. And they don't see themselves as successful. They don't see themselves as worthy of following. They don't see themselves as, entrepreneurs yet because it's new to them. So, but there's a handful of things that you can do to develop this consciousness, this success mindset, if you will. And I'm not going to really go into them necessarily in explicit detail, but I want to bring them up. And then you got to decide for yourself what you're going to do with it. So, like, for example, you need to have goals, right? There have been, I don't know how many books written on goal setting. I've done trainings. Everybody's done trainings on goal setting. That's why I'm not going to get into the art of goal setting. But here's the thing about that when it comes to success mindset. Like if you don't have clarity, like, okay, what do I want to have? Who do I want to become? What do I want to do in my life? The be, do, haves in goal setting. Like you got nothing to aim for, nothing to shoot for. You've got no target. How can you have like a success consciousness, a success mindset when you're just like, I don't even know what I'm doing or where I'm going for. But if you have like something that you're like, I want that, and I know exactly what it is that I want, and I mean, I really could see myself having that experience or having that thing in my life. I want that, and I'm gonna, and I'm getting that, and I'm gonna go for that. You have something to look forward to, and it just, there's something about it in your consciousness that shifts because you have like something that you're shooting for. And this is no different than, anything we've done in life. Like we've all set some type of objectives in life. Like even if it's something as simple as like, I can't afford that dress, but I'm going to save up money. I want to get that dress, or I want to get that thing. I mean, those are goals. Those are, I remember the first status symbol of success for me was a 18 karat gold Rolex presidential watch. And I was so fixated on having that watch, I'm going to get that watch, that eventually I got the watch. And it was inspiring for me, and it was like, cool, I'm moving towards it. I had something to shoot for. Now, I mean, those things are, in the end, they're pretty trivial, right? They're, you can't take any of the stuff with you when you're dead. I think life is, it's the experiences and the people that we hang out with and all the cool things that happen. But having something to shoot for, whatever it is, whether it's tangible and physical or not, is certainly going to have an impact. So my question to you is, do you have goals? Like, it's pretty crazy how many people are involved in network marketing, and you're at an event, and if people are really being brutally honest, like, do you have goals? Yeah or no? Are they written down? Where are they? Do you have them? I mean, if I asked you to pull out your goals right now, do you have them? And sometimes people come, yeah, I've got them right here, man. I look at them every single day, which helps you to be focused on it, which certainly has an impact on your success mindset. Developing a growth mindset is number 2. So, Todd, wait a second. I thought we were talking about a success mindset. Now you're talking about a growth mindset. Well, in order to have the overall success consciousness, a success mindset, which is really, a set of beliefs, if you will, right? That's what, if we look at mindset and belief are not synonymous, but I would say they're in parallel with one another. So having a growth mindset, like in other words, so my intention here is to get better. So the better I get, the better results that I'm going to get. I'm going to be intentional about it. Like I can go, and sometimes I use golf analogies because I like to play golf, but we can swing it right back into network marketing. So I'm very intentional about my practice when it comes to getting good at golf. I'm very intentional when I'm playing the game of golf. Like, it's important to me to shoot a low score. By the way, a low score in golf is good, not a high score, just in case you don't play golf. So I'm very focused. It's not this like I'm just out there whacking the ball around when I'm on the driving range, or I don't really care when I'm, on the actual golf course. I'm thinking about the shot. Where's it going to go? What kind of, where do I want it to land? Whatever. And I'm not going to go too deep into golf. But the important thing for you guys is to, be. And I remember I was at this event that Eric Worre did a long time ago, and he had a bunch of dudes up on the platform that were really at the top of their games. And I think one was Daniel Negreanu was a top poker player. It's escaping me now who the other people were, but there was like 3 or 4 people. What's his name? A skater. Oh my gosh, Rob Dyrdek is the other one I can remember. And Rob is like, was a professional skater. Now he's a super entrepreneur. But these guys they all use the same words. They became obsessed. That was the word that all of them use the same word, obsessed with getting good. And so that's John Maxwell talks about, intentional growth versus, accidental growth or hopeful growth. So if you have a really high degree of focus on getting good, and that's like a priority for you, you're going to have a better attitude. It's like, of course, like I go out and play golf and I shoot, 78 or 80 versus 105. I'm going to feel better about it. And why did I shoot that versus 105? By the way, again, 105 not good, 78's good. I'm going to feel better about it. My mindset's going to be totally different because I've taken the time to work on the growth and the development of the craft. So my question to you, I guess, there would be like, what are you doing to improve daily? Are you working on getting better? This is something I am super repetitious on, the whole idea of getting better, working on getting better, specifically focusing on doing things to get better rather than hoping things are going to get better. So that's super important. Number 3 is a positive attitude, cultivating a positive attitude. And look, some people are positive naturally and some people aren't positive naturally. And we're a product of our environment. Like who we hang out with impacts how we, what our attitude is going to be like. If we're hanging out with a bunch of negative people, we're probably going to be negative. If we're hanging out with a bunch of pessimistic people, we're probably going to be pessimistic. If we're hanging out with a bunch of downers, we're probably going to be another downer. If you're hanging out with motivated, inspired, get it done people, that's what you're going to be. Who you listen to, what you watch, your environment, all these things have an impact on your attitude. And I heard real early in my career, it has a little ring to it, your attitude is going to determine your altitude in your life. If you have a consistently positive attitude, interestingly enough, if you think about this for a moment, when you're around really fun, positive, happy people, they make you smile. They make you feel good. There's something magnetic about that. There's this energy that comes with it, and that is an attractive energy versus the opposite, I guess, if you will, right? So there are ways that you can go about cultivating a positive attitude. I mean, even like moving your body, exercising, what you put into your body, what books you're reading, all of these things have to do with shifting your attitude. Your attitude is also going to be down if you're just stuck where you're stuck and you're not doing anything with like your skill sets and your abilities, like I said in the previous point. And look, we've all experienced this. Like imagine this scenario. You're having a great day and you do have a positive attitude, which is awesome. And then, you bump into somebody whoever it is, spouse or friend or family member, and they're having a really bad day. And then all of a sudden you're having a really bad day. It has nothing to do with you, but it's like they gave it to you. It's like, here's my shitty attitude and I'm going to give it to you. And now you're taking ownership on it. I've done it. I've been guilty of it so many times I can't even count. And so what we've got to do, and this is there's some work involved here, because sometimes like when somebody comes at you with something and you're having a great day and then all of a sudden, bang, you got this negative energy that enters your life, and it's like it glams onto you, and you're like, how do I get rid of it? It's like it's tough. This is not easy, you guys. I'm just telling you. But you got to be able to separate yourself from that and go, wait a second, that's somebody else's stuff. That's not my stuff. Now, I mean, if it's your stuff and their stuff, some bad stuff you got to deal with, then I can understand where you're like, okay, now I got to figure out what this stuff is. But somebody brings me some negative energy, and it's almost like the example that comes to my mind is you're like having a great day. It's a sunny day. Your windows are rolled down, your arm's hanging out the window, and you're getting this vitamin D sunshine on your arm, and then some dude cuts you off and flips you off and gets in your way and road rages, and it's like, oh my gosh, like you can either like, hey, water off a duck's back, hey bro, go for it, man, I'm just having a great day, or you get all fired up and bent out of shape, and all of a sudden, your blood pressure's up, and you're like, your day is ruined by somebody else who knows what was going on with them. So it is important to work on, having a positive attitude. It's not, for some people it's natural, but I think even for natural people, they can, naturally positive people, they can be pulled down into a degree of negativity, and that can impact them and other people around them. And even positive attitude people, sometimes it's not like you have a positive attitude 100% of the time, but you certainly want to bring your best foot forward that you possibly can, the best attitude you possibly can when you're growing your business, because a positive attitude is attractive, a negative attitude is not. Makes sense. So, okay, I think that's number 4. Number 4, practicing self-discipline. So Bob Proctor, I remember him speaking one time. And there's different definitions of self-discipline, but discipline is giving yourself an order and following through on it. That's essentially, I think that's a great definition of what discipline is. So how do you become disciplined? And I'm actually going to go next week's session, when we release these every single week. So next week's session, I'm actually going to go into a little more detail on self-discipline. But, like one quick example would be, time management or blocking out time. So if you set specific time aside for business building or for working out or for whatever it is, and it's in your calendar and you stick to it, you're, first of all, if it's in your calendar, you're more likely to do it. Like, for example, I have Monday through Friday in my calendar at 7:30 a.m. It used to be 6 a.m. It's 7:30 now. I have yoga in my calendar. So 7:30 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now, I'm not telling you I haven't missed a yoga class, but because it's in my calendar, I pretty much show up. That's an appointment. And so if it was never in my calendar, I'd probably forget about it. So there's other things that you can do from a discipline standpoint. And like I said, you want to catch the episode next week that I'm going to be releasing, because I'm going to talk a little bit more detail specifically about what do I got to do to become more self-disciplined. And then number 5 is just simply taking action daily, right? Daily progress, movement forward, even if it's baby steps, even if it's, making a little bit of headway each day, a little bit of one step in the right direction is better than no steps in any direction. So just think about that for a second. If you're sitting around and you're doing nothing, and you're sitting around and you're doing nothing for an extended period of time, man, that wears on you. And it wears on you because you're knocking you're like, why am I not doing this? And you continue to it's like you're beating yourself up over not doing it, why are you beating yourself up over not doing it? Because you're not doing it. And then what does that do to your mindset? Well, it continues to draw it downward. But if you're doing something every single day, even if it's a little bit, like I was talking to, who was it? Somebody recently. I'm trying to remember who it was. So I have a friend of mine. I'm escaping it. It's not coming to my brain right now, but had lost, I don't know, like 50 pounds or something. And I'm like, well, how'd you do that? Oh, now I know who it is. So, okay. So like 50 pounds, it's pretty good. And like, how'd you do it? Well, I started with, just walking. Literally, I walked up the street. Then I walked up and down the street. And I did that a bunch. And then I walked up and down the street and up and down the street. Then I went up and down and up and down and up and down the street. Then I went around the block. Then I ran the block twice. But it wasn't like the person went to the gym and huffed out a 90-minute big old weight workout and then went for an 11-mile run. They didn't do that. They were taking baby steps. But man, the attitude is totally different. They're lighter. They're lighter in every aspect, physically and not physically. So that's something to think about. And look, I know for a fact there's some of you that are watching me right now or hearing you if you're on my audio podcast that, are probably in this mode where you're not taking daily action. And something as simple as, honestly, I teach what's called, or at least what I call a linking strategy for people that are totally stuck. Like someone who is so wrought with fear that they can't even move. They want to be successful, but they're, they get caught up in, rejection and what if they don't? What if? I'm like, dude, do yourself a favor. Make one call, one reach out. One and done. Just do one and do it. And whether you do great or you don't do great, it doesn't even matter. And then as soon as you're done with that, take a deep breath. Touch yourself and go, oh, I'm alive. I'm still here. I'm still here. I didn't die. Whether it doesn't and I know most people don't fear death when it comes to doing network marketing, but it's like they get so stuck that it's like they can't even move. But if you can move once, you can move twice. And if you can move twice, you can move 4 times. And if you can move 4, you can do 8 and 16 and all of that, right? So, yeah, and you got to know, and I know you do know this, that if you're not taking action, it most certainly isn't fixing this. It's not fixing the mindset. So the way to fix the mindset is to do all these things, these 5 things I've just shared with you. And I absolutely guarantee you that you will see your attitude shift. You will see your consciousness shift. And let me give you one final thing. There's something about preponderance or evidence or proof that's pretty powerful. There's a bunch of P's there. Well, it's like when you get involved in network marketing, and there's people making checks and making money, but it's not your money; it's somebody else's money. And then you get it's like the proof check. Like you get a check for whatever the amount is. It could be 1,000, it could be 500, it could be 3,000, it could be 8. I don't know. And then for me, I remember the check that like made me go, wow, okay. Like I had a completely different outlook after I got this check. It was like $13,000 in change for a month, and I was just like, whoa, that's a lot of dough. I've never seen this much money in my life, let alone in a single check. Oh my gosh, this works. And that affected everything and how I did everything from that point forward. Now, you don't need to have the proof check. By the way, the only way the proof check happened for me was because I took the action and I did all these other items that I've mentioned for you today. So that was a big deal for me. And it's like when you got it proof, man, I see the money in my hands. That is literally a game changer for people. But you don't ever get the proof check until you take the action. So anyhow, enough for today, my friends. I appreciate you. And look, if you're on my podcast, leave me a good review, especially if you like it. I love good reviews. If you're on my YouTube channel, what's up, YouTubers? And all sorts of other cool details and downloads and things for you to be successful in network marketing are right here on this page. Well, you may not be there, but you can come over to where all the conversation takes place, toddfalcone.com/episode 232. So again, TODDFALCONE.com/episode 232. We'll see you next time. Appreciate it.